心志，沉重的脚步勉强来离开。满腹的苦酒，满腹的痛苦，不愿来流浪。我心像海波浪，有起也有落，但经历若分开，何时再相逢？
台湾的人生，坎坷的运命，逼咱来分开。
你好。
Hi, 大家好。
Welcome to Taiwanese class for foreigners. So this is a class that I started earlier because Taiwanese is a beautiful, awesome language. And so I wanted more foreigners to have opportunity, have resources out there to learn Taiwanese because there's not a lot out there, to be honest with you. And the resources that are available, don't cut it. And so, unfortunately, and the previous teacher who was here, Gaussen, unfortunately is in Tainan, which is a little bit far. We're in Taitung. So I was fortunate enough to have a great friend who was willing to come and shoot with me. And she has her doctorate in Binan, our Taiwanese studies here in Taiwan. She's an expert in language, an awesome person, and very patient. And so, very thankful. You want to introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Winston, and I'm your Taiwanese teacher in this class. I come from Jiayi, in the southern part of Taiwan, same as Tainan. And I am an expert of Taiwanese language.
Yeah, it's her mother language. She's an expert. So she's also done a lot of studies and research in it. So we're very grateful. Thank you for being here.
Okay.
So basically, we got a lot of great feedback from the first class, and so we're trying to make this a whole lot more structured. Because Taiwanese is actually not that hard to learn, and so as long as you have a good structure, know the sort of the grammar, the tones that are going behind what you're saying. So we'll just do the intro, which we sort of basically did. Benefit, history, what to be careful of when you're learning Taiwanese itself, the tones, and then the greetings. And of course, when we're saying Taiwanese itself, we're also including Hoikin. I guess for self or Minanhua. And so, but what I guess the main difference would be is this class is more geared toward the Taiwanese as in spoken in Taiwan. The reason being for that Taiwan and the Taiwanese in Taiwan is much more influenced by foreign words and loan words coming in. And so it's actually important to change the language a lot. Changed a lot. So not to knock Hoikin speakers, which are awesome, and I love Hoikin. This class will be more geared for Taiwanese as in Taiwan, so Minanhua. So I guess go for the first of the benefits. So what would be the benefit of a foreigner learning Taiwanese?
Okay. You can learning Taiwanese language. You can communicate with many Taiwanese people, and you will have a sense of belonging in Taiwan. Can you speak Taiwanese?
My Taiwanese is horrible. But you have a sense of belonging.
Yes. Then the statistics says that there are 70% of Taiwanese people can speak Taiwanese. So if you learn Taiwanese, you can communicate with almost all the Taiwanese people.
That's true. It's also just a form of respecting the culture, understanding the culture more. If you understand Taiwanese culture, you're gonna have to put in the time and learn Taiwanese. There's not really any way around that. All right, so let's see the benefits. Boom. So the history itself was actually really interesting. Would you like to share about the history?
Okay. The origin of Taiwanese language is from Zhangzhou and Quanzhou in China, Fujian. In China,
Fujian province.
The Fujian province. And we can trace back to the Ming Dynasty, the general Zheng Chenggong. The Zheng Chenggong. Zheng Chenggong.
Was it Buddhist?
It's we worship Zheng Chenggong.
Oh, okay. He's okay.
Yes. And
it's also a deity here.
Yes, he's a deity. And Zheng Chenggong came to Taiwan with the immigrants. Yeah, same as Hoikin. And Hoikin, the culture and the pronunciation. Yes. And General Zheng came ashore on Lugang, in Zhanghua. And so people from Zhangzhou and Quanzhou spread from Lugang to all the other areas in Taiwan. And nowadays, Taiwanese language mixes the Hoikin and the loan words and
loan words.
The loan words and the Mandarin and some Japanese language.
So it makes a lot of it, but it's based off of Hokkien itself.
Yes.
And then Lugang is actually really special.
Yeah.
And do you want to share more about that?
Yeah, the Lugang has the more pure accent in Taiwanese language. Maybe you can say it is the Hokkien.
It's sort of more, they preserved the Hokkien language.
Oh yeah.
I guess in its purest form. It hasn't been changed. Modern day Taiwanese is much different.
Yeah.
So if you hear the Lugang Hua, I guess, or that beyond the word, the equivalent in Taiwanese, they would. It sounds very, I guess, very odd.
Yeah, you were very confused. Yeah, but that is the more pure accent, not the art or some.
Yeah, it's more purest form. What we've actually done is the original Hokkien itself actually has an extra tone, and that tone has been lost in modern day Taiwanese. And so if you're speaking to someone from Lugang in Taiwanese, they're speaking the dialect itself, they'll have that extra tone in there, which for Taiwanese speakers in other areas won't recognize.
Yes.
And it'll be really difficult to reproduce, obviously. So make a little extra spice in there. But you mentioned something earlier that there's a lot of Japanese influence here.
Yeah.
Which I've seen a lot. What would be some examples of that? Or,
okay.
I guess
why Taiwanese language makes the Japanese language because Taiwanese were governed by the Japan government in the past, and the Japanese government forced Taiwanese people speaking Japanese and accept the Japanese culture in the past. So in Taiwan now. In Taiwanese language, we will hear some pronounced like the Japanese.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of French is the same. Yeah.
And for example, the words benso. Benso is benso means the bathroom in Taiwanese. Yeah.
Benso.
Yeah. The pronounce is from Japanese. And the next example is the words "bei." "Bei" is area unit.
Unit of area.
Yeah, the unit area. So "bei" is from the Japanese concept. Yeah. And so
it's a Japanese concept brought over here.
Yeah.
The bei itself, sort of similar like a square kilometer or an acre, what we say back home. It's just a unit of area itself, and that concept was brought over by the Japanese, and so it's still used today. So if you buy a house, then they'll tell you how many bei is in the house itself.
Yeah.
So you know the area of the actual house itself. So that's a concept brought over. Whereas benso is the actual pronunciation was brought over, but the concept was already there.
Yeah. Okay, so
I guess, or so I hear.
Yeah.
I'm not the expert.
So that is the history of Taiwanese.
Yeah, a rough history of the Taiwanese and stuff. Good. So. All right, so you're a foreigner, you're in Taiwan, you want to learn Taiwanese, and so what are some things you have to be careful of?
You have to attention to the accent. We have said that the Lugang has the pure accent of the Taiwanese language. So the accent is different from the different areas, just like the English pronunciation is different from each state.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it is different. And so, for example, a chicken, we will pronounce as gui in the North Taiwan. Yeah, and sorry.
No,
you are not a chicken. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's clear that up.
Yeah. And we will pronounce "gay" in southern Taiwan. Yeah, so it is the different pronunciation. And another example is the sausage.
Sausage.
Yeah, the sausage. The sausage is pronounced as "enqiang." "Enqiang" in the northern Taiwan, and in the southern Taiwan, we will pronounce as "enchen." Yeah, it's the different.
What about in Taichung in the middle?
And the Taichung, I don't know.
I say "intiang," but
You say "enqiang." I say "enchen."
no.
Yeah. Because I come from Jiayi.
Oh yeah. So maybe. All right, good. So there's some things you need to be careful of themselves. And so next we're moving on to the tones, which I feel is probably the most difficult part of Taiwanese. I don't know, in your experience teaching Taiwanese.
And I feel difficult too.
You think it's difficult too?
Yes.
Yeah, even for the native speakers. So let's do that. So welcome back. We're going to continue watching. Sorry, we took a break. This is the we're going to talk about the tones now. So the tones of Taiwanese are actually fairly simple once you learn them. Learning them is obviously very difficult. I don't know if you find them difficult.
I think for foreign people learn Taiwanese language will feel the tone and tone changes rule is very difficult. But Taiwanese is my native language, so I feel it's easy. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm an expert.
Yes, obviously. The tones are difficult to learn first, but once you get the hang of them, once you're familiar about the tones and the tone change rules, it's actually not that hard. The Taiwanese will incorporate nasal sounds, and they also incorporate voice and unvoiced consonants, excuse me. And if you're not familiar with what those are, we have this in English, we just don't use those to recognize words. And then when we encounter them here, then I'll explain them more clearly in the rules and how to pronounce them correctly. So it's actually not too hard. What we're actually learning I guess the pinyin or the romanization system we'll be using is the pinyin romanization system that's used all around Taiwan. And so the little kids now, when they learn Taiwanese, if you see the textbooks, and they learn Taiwanese in elementary school here, I guess.
Yes.
They learn there, but they learn the romanization script. And the script was called Dai Le, which is just Taiwan Lo Ma Zi in Taiwanese, yeah. And it's actually just a uniform set of rules, set of romanization practices that the government's issued, and it's actually really helpful, and it's pretty clear. And so once you learn this, then it's pretty easy to pronounce Taiwanese.
Yes.
And so then obviously there's also some Chinese characters that are specific for Taiwanese as well, which we'll cover later on in more advanced classes. Sorry, so just to ramble for a little bit. All right, so the tones themselves. So the tones, there's how many tones?
There are 7 tones.
Yes, but before there were 8. So what happened to the other tone?
Okay, because the 6th tone is lost for a long time. In modern times, Taiwanese absorbed many long words. Many long words.
Okay.
Yeah. And the 6th tone has been lost, but it's preserved in Lugang.
Yes.
Yeah. It's also preserved in Lugang. Because the Lugang accent is the purest Taiwanese language. Yes.
So if you get Lugang and talk Taiwanese to them, if they're speaking the dialect, then you'll hear an extra tone thrown in there, which is crazy. It sounds
you will hear the 6th tone, but you may not realize what is the 6th tone.
Yeah, exactly. But we won't be covering that. It's also really hard to reproduce.
Yeah.
We're doing the basic 7 tones. And these 7 tones will also change. So for example, the first tone may turn into a 7th tone, and the 7th tone may turn into a 3rd tone. Okay. And we're going to cover those rules later, which the rules are also set in stone. So once you know the rules, you're good to go. So the tones themselves, the magical 8 tones, and it's taught as 8 tones, then there's actually no 6th tone that's included in textbooks. So we're doing the same thing. Yeah. So if someone asks you what tone in Taiwanese it is, you'll be clear. So here you go, the 8 tones of Taiwanese. Okay. So first, the first tone. So what can you tell us about the first tone?
The first tone is we pronounce as a.
Oh.
What is a?
So we're very tired. Bum 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 bum. So it's a ah or excuse me, ah.
Yes. So we pronounce as a. For example, we will say the word sai.
Oh.
Yeah. Sai. Sai means lion in Taiwanese language. Yeah. Sai. Yeah. Okay.
So
no many symbol.
There's no symbol for the first one, right? And so this is just sort of I guess an octave chart, maybe. the next thing for. So this is high, this is low.
Yeah.
High pitch, low pitch, and so your first tone is.
The first tone is a.
Yes. So it's a very high and level. And high and level doesn't drop, doesn't rise, it's flat. So if you see here, what we have is sai.
Sai.
Which is a lion.
Yeah, a lion. So in I want to say sai.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, sai means lion.
Yes, so with the similarities.
That is lion.
Yeah. I'd like to apologize.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. And so the other thing, and the other important thing to know here is there's no symbol, okay?
Yeah.
And so you see this in the dialogue, or whatever, in the Taiwanese romanization system. There's going to be no symbol above it.
Yeah.
And so if you see a word, the script written romanization, there's no symbol above it. All right, I know it's the first tone. So it's the same as Mandarin.
Yeah.
Right.
Mandarin.
Pinyin.
Pinyin.
Oh no, I think in Pinyin there's actually a tonal mark on top of it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at Chinese Pinyin in a while. My apologies. Okay, yes. So first tone, no symbol.
Yeah. So.
Sai.
Sai. Yes. Sai.
And
Okay.
again, learn his pronunciation, but
Okay.
learn mine.
Sai. Sai means lion. Yeah. Okay.
I think you're lying.
Yeah. Green.
He's lying.
Okay.
Moving on, we have
The second tone. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay. The second tone we pronounce as ah. 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 Yeah.
Right.
How to write ah in this
Alright, what's this?
photo?
Wow.
Once. So yeah, it ah is very stressed. You pronounce and you pronounce it stressed. Yeah.
It's very stressed. So you're starting from your first tone point and you're dropping it down, sort of an elongated drop.
Yeah.
Or I guess almost to a fourth tone in Mandarin.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with Mandarin.
Yeah.
So
Ah.
I guess an example would be
Okay. The example is ho. Ho. Okay.
which
Ho.
one?
Oh no.
It's not appropriate.
Yeah.
Ah.
Ho. Yeah. Ho means tiger in Taiwanese language. So, what is this?
What is
Okay. What is this?
what is
Can
this?
you?
I'll explain that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can explain it. Well, obviously you have your different tones. You have your 7 tones Taiwanese, correct, or your 8 yes. So what happens is this second tone here, each tone has a symbol, correct? And so remember the first tone doesn't have a symbol. Now the second tone is a dropping tone, but the symbol actually looks like it's rising. So it's a little bit confusing. If you learned Luoma Pinyin when you learned Mandarin, then you're going to see this and you're going to think you're going to do a second tone. You're going to rise it. Don't do that. It's actually the opposite. All right, and why the Taiwanese government decided to use this particular symbol for a dropping tone, I don't know. But I guess I can see the logic we do it. See the other words, but for whatever reason, it's the way it is. And so, if you remember, if you see sort of this rising line right here above the vowel in a particular romanization set, our Taiwanese romanization set, it's actually a dropping tone.
Yeah.
All right. So if we take this away, we have ho, and this little dot right here doesn't mean anything. It's just if you take this dot away, it's sort of pronounced as a sound. If you add that, it's pronounced as an o, sort of an English o, like o. And so when we add the symbol, it changes from the first tone ho to a following tone ho, and so that's when it changes to mean tiger. So the symbol is very important. This is what the symbol looks like right here.
Yes. So ho.
Ho.
I will. Ho.
Yes.
Tiger.
Ho. So that means tiger. Yes. There you go. So hopefully it should be very clear. So it's very important to learn the symbols. So in later classes, you see the word, that you know what tone you're talking about.
Okay.
All right. So next is.
Oh, the next is ah. For example, chu. Yeah, chu also. So how to write the ah?
All right. So So we're doing a deep drop here.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Make it a little bit thicker, I guess. Sorry about that. So the difference in the second tone is going to be a little bit a higher drop, where the third tone is a lower drop. But don't be confused that it's shorter. It's actually somewhat elongated.
Yeah.
It depends where you are. Some people like to stretch it out a little bit, but it's going to be a much deeper dropping sound, or a much deeper dropping tone.
Okay.
So, and then the example.
Okay, the example is chu. Chu means house in Taiwanese language. So, chu. Yeah. Chu. Okay.
And so somewhere here is boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Can you?
Yeah. All right. You notice we added extra H here. If you add an extra H, it's pronounced sort of as a Mandarin C sound in just the Taiwanese romanization form. All right. And so you see our symbol here is the dropping sound. So it's the equivalent of the Mandarin fourth tone symbol.
Yeah.
You see, but it's pronounced differently than as it is in Mandarin. It's pronounced much deeper. And so when you see it's used for house here, it's actually pronounced much lower than a fourth tone sound. So if something along the tu or
Tu.
tu, so very low and very deep. And of course the symbol's here, and so remember the symbol.
Yeah. Okay. Tu. Tu in Chinese we were tu. Okay. Tu means house. Okay.
You'll see this a lot in place now, actually.
The fourth tone we pronounce as ah. Okay, so how to
This right about
write the
right here.
okay
All right.
yeah. So
it's a mid-level tone and it's short. It's very short. All right. So before you have your first tone, which is high, flat, and elongated. This is sort of be a lower pitch, and it's going to be a whole lot shorter. So as the pronunciation itself,
yeah
And then an example would be.
right. And the example is ah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So perfect.
Means the duck, a duck. So a duck in Taiwanese language.
So as you notice here, there's no symbol on top of this. And so you say, oh, there's no symbol. Oh, so how do I know that it's not the first tone? Great question.
Yeah.
So I know you're thinking it. Okay. What happens is if the romanization itself ends in P, T, K, or H, then it is a fourth tone. It is a fourth tone right here. So P, T, K, or H. And so for example, we see this right here is ends in an H. So if it ends in H, oh, it's going to be a fourth tone. If it does not end in a P, T, K, or H, and you see the symbol on top, then it's a first tone. So those are the rules you need to go by. And so for whatever reason, there's no symbol for the fourth tone itself. This is what it looks like. Just the ending normalization letter itself is a P, T, K, or H. And so here is, we just have which is a duck.
Means a duck. Okay, so in Chinese, that is okay, yeah.
It's very delicious.
Yeah, delicious. Yeah, in Chinese people like to eat a duck. Okay. And the fifth tone we were pronounced as Okay, so sorry, yeah, the fifth tone.
So all right. So what we're let's see. So it actually looks something like.
Wow, it down and go
Rising, yeah, it rises. It's almost like a Mandarin third tone, except for that it rises a little bit higher in normal speak. So that'd be the main difference. And so an example would be.
Okay, the example is gu. Okay.
Symbol first. The symbol looks like this. And then.
Okay, gu means a cow in Chinese, in Taiwanese language. Okay, so
gu.
Gu. Yeah, gu.
Right, so,
Yeah.
And then this gu, and if you can learn his pronunciation, please, is actually a voiced G sound. As opposed to in English, most times for an English person, an American person, they see this, they'll most likely what they want to do, gu. So be careful. It's a voiced G sound, so it's actually pronounced in the back of your throat. So maybe you can see something very disgusting and you want to throw up. Maybe something else like.
Not G, not G or G.
Gu.
Yeah, gu. Yeah.
And so there should be a little bit of vibration going on. And so how do you know if you pronounce it correctly? If you sort of feel right here and you pronounce it and there's some vibration going on, then you should be pretty on the spot.
Okay, gu. Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Great.
so gu means a cow in Taiwanese language. So okay, I write Chinese. Gu. Okay, a cow. Yeah.
Awesome. That was the fifth tone.
Yeah. Okay. The next is the seventh tone. Right. Okay. The seventh tone we pronounce as Okay. So how do we?
Remember, there's no sixth tone. Or there's a sixth tone, but it's only in lugang.
Okay.
So if people are wondering, why we go from fifth to seventh?
So don't be nervous. The sixth is in lugang. Okay.
Yes. So.
Okay. the seventh tone we pronounce as ah. So the example is chew. Okay, so how to write the chew? Okay, so if you pronounce the seventh tone, if you pronounce the chew, you will find that you pronounce this through your nasal cavity. So there is a N.
Yes.
Yeah, there's an N. So you can touch your nose and find the pronounce chew. Okay, chew.
Let me add the symbol. My apologies. The symbol looks like this.
Okay. So.
All right. So this is similar to the first tone, but it's a lower pitch, and it's the same. It's elongated. It's just as long as the first tone itself, but it's just at a lower pitch.
Yeah.
All right. And then remember when you see the N superscript, or superscript, excuse me.
And the nasal.
It's a
nasal cavity. So.
Yeah. It's a nasal sound. So you can feel your nose to see if your nose is vibrating per se. Yes. Yeah, so it takes some time to get used to it. So for example, can you do this with, I guess, without the nasal sound and with the nasal sound?
Okay.
So this without the nasal sound would be
chew. Chew.
And then with the nasal sound.
Chew. Okay, one more time.
Oh.
Chew.
And then.
Chew. Okay.
So it's very important. It takes a while for your ears to get used to it. All right. And so what we have here is just having chew.
Yeah. Chew. Yeah.
So actually,
very good.
It takes a while to get used to it. Yeah. It takes a while to get used to it. You'll think you're very funny when you're saying. It's okay. All right. And so the symbol is sort of a flat bar, which would be the equivalent for the Mandarin first tone, but this is the Taiwanese seventh tone. So it's very different, much lower pitch. Okay. And so what are we saying here?
Okay. Chew means elephant in Taiwanese language. So in Chinese we. Okay. So chew elephant. Chew elephant. Okay. The next tone is So the example is lo. Okay. So lo.
All right.
Lo means deer. Means a deer in Chinese. In Taiwanese. Sorry, in Taiwanese, a deer.
So you see, it's going to be at the same level, if not a little bit higher. Usually the same level in the first tone, but it's very short, extremely short, just sort of a burst of sound coming out of your mouth here. And so the symbol here is just sort of a vertical line going down right across the vowel. Sorry, and then of course you see your symbol here, so you can recognize it. So,
okay.
There you go.
So, lo means lo.
Because you say it very fast.
Yes.
So if you don't say it very fast, this confused the first tone, which is very different. So.
Okay. Lo means deer. Okay. So in Chinese. Okay. Lo. Okay.
Awesome.
爱阮的人生坎坷的运命，由咱来分开。这款的心酸，这款的苦楚，谁